How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. So just a quick recap of a trade taken on dollar yen within the week of 20th of March 2020. This was based on the ARS strategy from within Revolve, and this is a reversal strategy taken off of supply. So in the weekly, we did have this push up from this area of demand right here, 2 consecutive weeks of impulsive candles, but just coming up to this area of weekly and daily. And also we had this 4-hour area of supply that we could base the trade off of. As price was within both weekly and daily supply area, we're ascertaining a possible sell. Whether this was for a longer term trade or a shorter term trade, it didn't really matter. We had our soft targets to the next area of demand, and then we'd be trailing our stop accordingly based on the Evolve trade management style. So as price reached this area of daily supply, we did have 1, 2, 3, 4 indecision candles, so looking like a failure to break. So this gave us a good indication that we could have some form of sell-off from this area. Now, based on the lower time frames, we did have this ascending formation, not only on the 4-hour, but also very clear on the hourly. Together with this, we did have some clear confluences from the ARS strategy. But one of the key confluences of the ARS strategy is a 5th wave formation, and this is the A, B, C, D, looking to take the first trade off of the E for that 5th wave to move to the downside. Now, the first entry was taken on the retrace of this 1 to 3rd touch. However, this resulted in a break even. This was a manual close for me, just because I didn't want to take an unnecessary stop, because as price started moving back up, it looked as though maybe we could just go a little bit higher, and then this had this kind of formation, and then we came up to test. Now, from a technical stance, you could have looked at this as just an area of resistance where we failed to break through. So we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming in for that 5th touch. So the more times we were testing this, the less chance we had of breaking it. So therefore, once we moved up, we had this double top region, and then we had this next retrace. That's where I entered the market again, this time for a tighter stop. First target being this area of 4-hour demand, and also this previous 4-hour high over here. I wasn't planning on holding this over the weekend based on weekend risk, especially with what's been going on with the market at the moment around the coronavirus. I wasn't going to open myself to any unnecessary risk or give any profit back to the market. Happy to close this. This ended up in just over 6.3% return, and this was a manual close just around 4 or 5 o'clock around this region, just as we stepped into this area of demand. So as you can see, we did come down. We did create this pullback from the first part of the area of demand, and then we broke through. This is an example of just a textbook trade, how we can accurately get into the market based on a reversal using the ARS confluences, and also utilizing just supply, not only on the weekly, but the daily and the 4-hour to get in at the turning point of the market, and then just manage accordingly for a nice high return. Now, if a mechanical approach is of interest to you, there is a link in the description below. I'm offering a 1-day free trial of the Evolve platform, where you'll be able to discover both the strategies that I employ, which are a reversal and a trend strategy. You'll also be exposed to over 30 hours of trading material. I do also include 3 weekly videos, one which is a breakdown of the weekly watch list, then 2 midweek videos where I just go through and update you on what's developed in those watch lists so that we can plan for the rest of the weeks. And then also you gain access to the private Slack community where I share my trade ideas and also my trade executions as I've entered the trades that we've already planned for. So again, if that's of interest to you, there is a 1-day free trial. Jump in, see what you think, and then if you want to stick around, then by all means. Otherwise, you can get a good insight to how I trade.